പ്രാർത്ഥിച്ചുകൊണ്ട് അത് വീണ്ടും വീണ്ടും ശക്തിയായിട്ട് ദൈവത്തിൻ്റെ വചനം ഘോഷിക്കുവാൻ തക്കവണ്ണം അവനെ പ്രാപ്തരാക്കി ദൈവത്തിന് സ്തോത്രം ചെയ്യും. വൈകുന്ന പകൽക്കാലം നമ്മൾ കിട്ടുമ്പോൾ അവൻ ഫാദേഴ്സ് ഡേക്ക് നമ്മൾ ഫാദേഴ്സ് ഡേയുടെ അത് ഓർപ്പിക്കാനായിട്ട് ഇങ്ങോട്ട് വരുന്നുണ്ട്. ഓരോ പൂവൊക്കെ ദൈവത്തിന് ഈ ഫാദേഴ്സ് ഡേ സ്തോത്രം അത് അത്ര ഫാദേഴ്സ് ഡേക്കും മദേഴ്സ് ഡേക്കും പറഞ്ഞതുപോലെ ഇവിടെ വന്നേ പിന്നെയാണ് ഈ ഫാദേഴ്സ് ഡേക്കും പറയുന്നത്. അതിന് പുറകോട്ട് നോക്കാൻ ദൈവത്തിന് സ്തോത്രം. നമ്മുടെ ഫാദറിനെയൊക്കെ എല്ലാ ദിവസവും നമ്മുടെ ദൈവത്തിന് സ്തോത്രം അവർ ചെയ്തതും അവർ വിധിക്കുന്നതും എല്ലാം നമ്മൾ അവരെ ഓർത്തല്ല അവർക്ക് വേണ്ടതെല്ലാം കൊടുത്തു. ആണ്ടിലൊരിക്കൽ ഇത് വരുന്നത് ഇവിടുത്തെ സംസ്കാരം ദൈവത്തിന് അത് നമ്മൾ തുടർന്ന് സ്തോത്രം. മത്തായി ലൂക്കോസിന്റെ സുവിശേഷം ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു വാക്യമുണ്ട്, ഹല്ലേലൂയ, അപ്പനെയും അമ്മയും ബഹുമാനിക്കുക എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു. അത് പ്രമാണം അനുസരിച്ച് ദൈവത്തിന് അപ്പനെയും അമ്മയും ബഹുമാനിക്കും. അപ്പൊ പരീക്ഷന്മാരും അവര് ആ ശാസ്ത്രിമാരും അവരെത്തിയെന്നറിയാം. അപ്പനെയും അമ്മയും ബഹുമാനിക്കുക. സ്തോത്രം. എന്റെ അപ്പനെയും അമ്മയും ബഹുമാനിക്കും എന്നുള്ളത് വെച്ചു ആലയത്തിൽ വന്ന് സ്തോത്രം വഴിപാടെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ ഒരു കുർബാൻ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ എൻ്റെ അവരെ അമ്മയും ഞാൻ സംരക്ഷിക്കാനായിട്ട് ഞാൻ 100 രൂപ ഇവിടെ ആലയത്തിൽ കൊണ്ടുവന്ന് വഴിപാട്. പിന്നെ അമ്മ അവരുമായിട്ട് യാതൊരു ബന്ധം എന്താ എൻ്റെ അപ്പനും അമ്മയും ബഹുമാനിക്കുന്നു. ഞാൻ കുർബാൻ വഴിപാട് കഴിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. ഇവിടെ സ്തോത്രം ആണ്ടിലൊരിക്കൽ ഒരു ചെന്ന് ദൈവത്തിന് സ്തോത്രം ചെന്ന് ഒരു പൂ എടുക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. അതെല്ലാം നമ്മളെല്ലാം എല്ലാ ദിവസവും നമ്മുടെ കർത്താവിനും നമ്മുടെ മാതാപിതാക്കളും നമ്മൾ ബഹുമാനിച്ചു. ഈ ജോഷുവയുടെ ഹൃദയത്തിൽ ഈ ഫാദേഴ്സ് ഡേയെ കുറിച്ചുമൊക്കെ ഹൃദയത്തിൽ ചില ആലോചനകളൊക്കെ അത് കഴിഞ്ഞ് 2-ാം ആഴ്ചയ്ക്ക് മുമ്പേ 3 ആഴ്ചയ്ക്ക് മുമ്പ് ഞാൻ ഇന്നലെ അതിൻ്റെ ഫാസ്റ്റൊക്കെ പറഞ്ഞ് ഫാസ്റ്റ് പ്രത്യേകമായിട്ട് ഒരു ടൈമൊക്കെ കൊടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ട്. സ്തോത്രം. ഇന്ന് അവർ കൊടുത്തിരിക്കുന്നതായിട്ടുള്ള സമയത്തിനുള്ളിൽ വെച്ച് സ്തോത്രം അവൻ്റെ കർത്താവ് കൊടുത്ത ആലോചന ഇപ്പോൾ പ്രസ്താവിക്കും. നമുക്കെല്ലാവരും പ്രാർത്ഥനയോട് എല്ലാവരും ശ്രദ്ധിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കണം. ദൈവത്തിന് സ്തോത്രം. ഇത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് സ്തോത്രം മെസ്സേജുകളൊക്കെ ഉണ്ട്, അതുകൊണ്ട് പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കാം. ഏറ്റവും പെട്ടെന്ന് ഷോർട്ടായിട്ട് ഹല്ലേലൂയ സമയത്തിൽ.
Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord.
We can start with the word of prayer, then we can get started. Dear Heavenly Gracious Living Father, thank you for bringing us together in your sanctuary. Thank you for blessing us all together and coming into your congregation so we can worship you. Thank you for blessing us with this wonderful day. Thank you for making us celebrate this wonderful day called Father's Day, where we can celebrate and honor our fathers for everything that they've done for us in our lives. I also like to ask God for help to help me apply this message to your heart so you can apply it in your own lives. Thank you for blessing us all together, and God bless you all. Amen. So, praise the Lord once again. I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior for giving me an opportunity to preach God's word to you all today. As you know, getting right down to my message, today is a very special day. This day is called Father's Day. So as you know, fathers are instrumental blessings to children everywhere in our lives. Children are just blessed to have a father to guide them, protect them, and discipline them. Throughout this world, from rich celebrities to educated people to low-class individuals, there are people who do not have a father to guide them or protect them. There are people who live in abusive settings, people who live with one mother, or people who live as orphans, etc., etc. Children especially who live in this situation, they don't know how it's like to have a father in their life to guide them. And it's kind of sad. And sometimes children feel traumatic living in those conditions. And the thing is, we should all realize we in this church do not have to go through that pain. We don't have to go through that struggle. We have wonderful fathers with special qualities that can impact a child greatly in their life. And so, with that said, my message today is themed on the special qualities of a father. I'll conclude my message by explaining why we are celebrating Father's Day as well. And so, I have 3 points I want to share with you all. My first point is that fathers show discipline. My second point is that fathers show motivation. And my third point is that fathers show forgiveness. I'm going to start with discipline today. So as you know, fathers correct their children if they do anything wrong. Fathers are willing to discipline you, not because they want to, but it's because they have to. So you don't do those same mistakes when you get to the real world. And the thing is, part of the problem of children being corrected is that some children, I'm not going to throw you all under the bus, I'm one of them, but like part of the problem is that some people do not like to be corrected. The thing is this, your father is willing to correct you through stern correction. The real world isn't going to do that. You do the same mistakes at home, in your job, or your school environment, you'll end up with bad results. And you know what I mean when I say bad results. So the thing is, a good father applies discipline to his kids. And so to make more sense of this, I will say an example of a father disciplining his child to make her successful. So let's say there's a girl, and let's say there's a father. And the thing is, the girl is heavily influenced by her environment. Whatever the girl sees, she wants. If she sees a girl with a good-looking dress, she wants her father to buy that good-looking dress. And if she sees a guy with a good-looking phone, she wants her dad to buy that good-looking phone. And the thing is, it's just ask, give, ask, give, ask, give. And the thing is, the problem with this is that the two people do not have a relationship with each other. They sometimes get into verbal arguments, and they never talk to each other. And so when the girl asked her father about her needs, the father will say no, right? And the father will sternly discipline the child by saying, first of all, we never talk. And second of all, instead of treating me like a father, you're treating me like an ATM machine. And so that's the thing. And after sternly disciplining her, if she's a good daughter, as you know, discipline goes both ways. And if she's a good daughter, she will understand that stern discipline. She will make a relationship with her father, and she will come to terms, and then she'll have the needs she wants. And the thing is, that's really important. Discipline is important to a child's life. And so the thing is, let me flip the story here. What if the father didn't correct the child? So if he didn't correct his child, the daughter would keep up her actions until it is second nature to her. Then she'll apply it in the real world, and she'll be done. And so we have to understand a father's discipline helps us throughout our life in any circumstance. So the thing is, tying this with your spiritual life, I'm going to explain an example as well from the Bible where the lack of discipline from God, from a God-fearing priest, has led to him and his family's downfall. If we turn our Bibles to 1 Samuel, chapters 2, 3, and 4, I'm not going to read all of it, but I will summarize the main points. And so the thing is, Eli was a God-fearing man who was the priest of Shiloh for 40 years. You guys know the story. And the thing is, he was a God-fearing man. He preached the word of God wherever he went. He loved the Lord, and he kept his commandments. And the problem was his kids. He had two kids. One was named Hophni, and the other one was named Phinehas. And the thing is, Phinehas and Hophni they rebelled against God. And the thing is, you know how we break commandments because of our negligence? They broke it so they can get mad. That's how much they hated God. They wanted God to throw them away. And so the thing is, God was angry at them. But the thing was, God was more angry at Eli because he was the father of the kids, and he didn't discipline them. He was supposed to restrain the kids, but he didn't. And because of that, it led to a chain of bad events in Eli's life. The first thing that happened was, in the war with the Philistines, God let Phinehas and Hophni die. That's the first thing that happened. The second thing that happened was when Eli found out that his two kids had died and the Ark of the Covenant was stolen, he fell backwards from his chair, broke his neck, and he also died. And the third thing that happened was his father-in-law, when she found that out, she went through labor pain, and she named her child Ichabod. And that means glory away from Israel. And thing is, my, how that is so true. And thing is, you thought that's the end of the story. It is just the beginning. Because his whole family line was affected as well. Everything. His whole family line couldn't reach old age at all. And it's sad. Just because of the lack of discipline from this man, it led to Eli's downfall. And we have to understand that because of Eli's lack of disciplining his kids, they continued their evil process, stimulated God's anger, and that led to their downfall. We have to realize our fathers today are disciplining us for a good cause. Not because they want to, but it's because they have to. And because of that, that makes us who we are today. And these are one of the good qualities we must be thankful for from a father. Another special quality that a father has is his motivation for his child to succeed. Good fathers motivate you to study hard in your youth years, have a good education, and have a professional job so you can enjoy the rest of your life. And the thing is, God always wants their child to be the best they can be, right? No father or in their right mind would want their kid to work at McDonald's or Walmart. That's just cruel. But no father ever wants to do that to a child. And the thing is, I know that sometimes to the child, and me as well, it is irritating if your father's a little too strict when it comes to your future. But the thing is, if we read Proverbs 22 verses 6, we turn to it, it says, "Start children off on the way they should go, and even when they are old, they will not turn from it." According to this verse, motivation is a very big deal. By motivating a child early in their life, they'll understand that motivation, understand that importance, and it'll ignite a fire in their life to prolong them for the rest of their life. And that's what's important. Start children off, motivate them to do just a little bit better than what they have done. And the thing is, the reason why I wanted to explain this point is that throughout this world, there are children who accomplished at their top of the top, and their fathers do not care. They could care less. They don't want them to motivate. They don't want to motivate them to do better. And I do have an example I want to share. So the thing is, I have a great friend who I have at Pt.1. I'm not gonna say his name, but he was a great man. He was an accomplished man, did many things, and we were like brothers. And thing is, I noticed nowadays he wasn't the same accomplished man as he was before. And I asked him, "What's wrong with you? Oh, why are you acting like that?" And he said that my parents don't care about my grades. And it's sad. And the thing is, without anybody to motivate him, nobody to educate him in his life, he rightfully thought that there was really no point in trying anymore, and just go through the form of life and just be done. And the thing is, you have to understand that a motivation from a father can bring a big smile to a kid, and that's very important. Tying this with the spiritual world, we can see that motivation is shown all over the Bible. If we don't have to read the Bible, but the thing is, I'll say an example. Jesus Christ was picking the 12 disciples. And the thing is, when Jesus Christ picked these disciples, they didn't have any special qualities. They're zero. I mean, the thing is, they had no education. They weren't a PhD in medicine. They weren't rich at all, at least. And the thing is, having an education and having money are kind of one of the two things to gain even the slightest respect from this world. These disciples never had that. And the thing is, Jesus picked them because he had motivation. Jesus the Father had motivation that they could do special things for him. And because of his envisioning that they could do special things, he taught them many things. He taught them to do signs and miracles. He taught them to make disciples of their own and have faith in any crisis situation. And because of his motivation, these people who were zero became champion. These disciples removed demons out of people who were filled with sicknesses, and they also did signs and miracles of their own. And that is very important. Because of this motivation from this Father, Jesus, the disciples were champions. So like in a spiritual and worldly view, motivation from a father can impact a child immensely. And so the thing is, I want to explain to you all my last special quality of a father for the day, and that is their forgiveness. No matter what ridiculous things a child may do to aggravate their father, A good father will always forgive his child. Even though the father was mad, and this is a very important point I want you to all get. So even though the father was mad, he will not love his child any less than before he was mad. And that is a very important point. I will explain that again. Even though the father was mad, he will not love you any less than before he was mad. And things that's very important. If you turn your Bibles with me to a very basic story, Luke 15 verses 11 through 32. And once again, I'm not going to read this, but this is the parable of the prodigal son. Or in some of your Bibles, they say the lost son, but it's the same thing. I will summarize the main points. So as you know, there was a man who had two sons. He had an older son and a younger son. And the thing is, the older son always followed his father. He always loved him and supported him, worked the farm and everything. How the younger son was a little bit stubborn and he lacked his father's quality. He lacked his older brother's qualities. And the thing is, he was kind of cocky, a little arrogant. Because the thing is, he thought that he can go through this world on his own. And, he thought he could. And he asked his father, you know what, I want a share of your property and I'm going to leave the house. And the thing is, he took a share of his father's property, left the house. Right when he left the house, he wasted money here and there. And the thing is, he made friends. He had a party. He was basically the regular teenager, pretty much. And the thing is, they had parties together, and they wasted money. And once they were pretty bad friends. And the thing is, when he lost his money, of course, he lost his friends. And after he lost everything, he still was cocky. He thought that he could still make just a little bit more money by working for the servant, for the pigs. And thing is, you think pigs are easy to work? It's not. It's getting down and dirty. And the thing is, we have to understand that he was working and he was starving to death, making little to less every day. And he realized, oh my gosh, I made a mistake. I want to come to my father. And when he realized that he made a mistake, he thought he was no longer worthy to be his child. And then the thing is, he went to his father, and his father forgave him, and they had a feast and had a great time. And the thing is, they had this feast because he was dead to his own sin, but he was alive again by conquering it, and he realized his own mistake in life. And so, that's one example I want to say. Another example from the Bible I want to speak about is the most important example, and that is King David. So as you know, this is a spiritual example. So David was a very successful king who stood firm for God and accomplished so many things in life, like making 75 out of the 150 psalms in the Bible. And that's pretty good. But the thing was, before he was spiritually successful in life, and I emphasize the word spiritually successful, he made a lot of bad sins in his life. A lot of bad sins. And the thing is, when he came to his senses, he asked the Lord for forgiveness and came to God because he felt hopeless in life. He had nobody in the world to rely on anymore, and he cried out to the Lord for forgiveness. And the thing is, God forgave him. And ever since he was cleansed of his soul, he was a brand new man. Brand new man. He accomplished so many things. And the thing was, the most important thing was God even extended his token of love to David by saying this very important verse. And it says that, David, you are a man of my own heart. And that's the most important thing. And it's kind of ironic to me, because here was a man who did the worst sins possible, who became a part of God. And the thing is, you have to understand, this proves that God, the Father, is more than willing to forgive any sin his children makes. Do not be guilty. You only live once in life. Ask God for forgiveness, and he will answer your prayers in life. And the thing is, what we all can get from these two examples is that to your heavenly and worldly Father, their desire to forgive you isn't determined by how big or how small your sin was. Their desire to forgive you is determined by how much you realize how poor your mistake was and how eager you are to change from it. By understanding all of this, we should know that forgiveness is a very special quality of a father. So now that I explained my 3 points about the special qualities of a father, I'll conclude my message by answering this very, very simple question. Why are we celebrating Father's Day? The reason why we are celebrating Father's Day is because we can give honor to our fathers for being prepared and responsible in our lives by disciplining us when we have an attitude, motivating us to be more successful in life, and forgiving us when we make a fatal error. This is why we are celebrating Father's Day. Thank you for your time. May God be with you all, and happy Father's Day.
Hallelujah. Praise God.
Church, let's just continue to take some time and just focus and praise of God as we're here right now in His presence. As we've heard this first message and we're preparing for our second message, let's just remember the reason why we're here and just focus on the fact that God has brought all of us together and just join me in a word of prayer as we move into this time of praise. Dear Lord, Heavenly Father, we thank you for this giving us opportunity to come together, Lord, and just be able to praise your name, Lord. Pray, Father God, as we're here, that your Spirit will continue to move in this place, Father God, and as we sing these words, Lord, that these lyrics will move in our hearts, Father God, and it won't be about the sound of the music, Father God, or the voices, but instead, Father God, that we'll be able to focus on these words that we sing and continue to stay in this time of worship and just continue to be here in your presence. Amen. Father God. You've conquered the grave, Lord. Praise you, Father God, for giving us this story, this song to sing, Lord, that we are the children of God, Lord. Praise you, Jesus. Praise you, Father God. This blessed assurance that we have, Lord, this hope that we have in you, Father God. I pray, dear Father God, that you continue to work in our lives, Lord, and let your Spirit continue to move in this place, Lord, Father God. As the man of God come forward to speak, dear Lord, that your Spirit will be here. Let him continue to just stay in this time of worship, just remembering this story and this song that you've given us, Father God, living that out in this week, Father God. We praise you, Lord, and pray, Father God, for your Spirit to continue to be in this presence, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
എല്ലാവരും ഇരിക്കാമല്ലോ. പ്രൈസ് ദി ലോർഡ്. ഹല്ലേലൂയ. അനുഗ്രഹിക്കപ്പെട്ടതായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു ദൂത് നമ്മൾ കേട്ടു. പ്രൈസ് ദി ലോർഡ്. ഹല്ലേലൂയ. ആമേൻ. സ്തോത്രം. മക്കളെ ശിക്ഷിച്ച് വളർത്തുന്ന ഒരു പിതാവ് ശിക്ഷിച്ച് വളർത്താതിരുന്നപ്പോൾ ഏലിയുടെ കുടുംബത്തിൽ ഒരു ഈഖോബാദ് ഉണ്ടായി. ദൈവത്തിന് സ്തോത്രം. മഹത്വം ഇസ്രയേലിൽ നിന്ന് പോയ സ്തോത്രം ശിക്ഷിച്ച് വളർത്താതെ. പിന്നെ അവർ കേട്ട ദൈവത്തിന് സ്തോത്രം, ബാലൻ നടക്കേണ്ടത് വഴി അവനെ അഭ്യസിപ്പിക്കുക, വൃദ്ധനായാലും അതിനെ വിട്ടുമാറുക. ബാലൻ വഴി നമ്മുടെ സ്തോത്രം അവരെ നടക്കേണ്ടത് വഴി നമ്മൾ അത് പരിശീലിപ്പിച്ചാണ് സ്തോത്രം അവർ വൃദ്ധരാകും. നാം വൃദ്ധരാകുമ്പോൾ അവർ നമ്മെ നടത്തും. ദാവീദിന്റെ ജീവിതത്തില് സ്തോത്രം, ദാവീദ് ആ ഭവനത്തില് ദൈവത്തിന് സ്തോത്രം, മാതാപിതാക്കൾ ഒരു പ്രാവശ്യം ദാവീദ് പറഞ്ഞു, എൻ്റെ അപ്പനും അമ്മയും എന്നെ ഉപേക്ഷിച്ചു. ദൈവത്തിന് സ്തോത്രം. അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ദാവീദിന്റെ അപ്പനും അമ്മയും വളരെ ആത്മീയ അനുഭവത്തിൽ തന്നെ വളർത്തിയത് കൊണ്ട് സ്തോത്രം അവരെ ഈ ആടുകളെ മേയിക്കാന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ വലിയൊരു ദൗത്യമാണ് അവനെ ഏൽപ്പിച്ചത്. എന്നാലും സ്തോത്രം ഒരു യാഗത്തിന് വന്നപ്പോൾ അവനെ കൊണ്ടുവന്ന് യാഗം കഴിച്ച് സ്തോത്രം അഭിഷേകം ചെയ്തതായിട്ട് നമുക്ക് മനസ്സിലാക്കാൻ കഴിയും. എന്നാൽ ദാവീദ് ഒരു സമയത്ത് അവന് രാജ്യം അവനെ വെറുത്തു, അവന്റെ സിംഹാസനത്ത് പോയി. അവന് ഏത് സമയത്തും അവനെ തകർക്കുവാൻ തക്കവണ്ണമായിട്ട് അവന്റെ സ്വന്തം മകന് തന്നെ അവനെതിരായിട്ടൊക്കെ നിൽക്കുമ്പോൾ രാജ്യം വിട്ടു പോകാനായിട്ട് അവന്റെ അപ്പനും അമ്മയും ആ അപ്പനും അമ്മയ്ക്കും വേണ്ടി അവൻ കരുതി. അവൻ നേരെ ചെന്നിട്ട് ഞാൻ ഇവിടെ പിടിക്കപ്പെടുവാൻ പോകും, ഞാൻ രാജ്യം വിട്ടു പോകുക, അങ്ങനെയുള്ള അവസ്ഥ എനിക്ക് വന്നു. എന്നാൽ എൻ്റെ അപ്പനും അമ്മയ്ക്കും അത് വരരുത് എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് ദാവീദ് മോവാബ് രാജാവിന്റെ അടുക്കൽ ചെന്നിട്ട് അവന്റെ അപ്പനെയും അമ്മയും അവിടെ എടുത്തിട്ട് പറഞ്ഞു, ഞാൻ സ്തോത്രം മടങ്ങി വരും, യെരൂശലേമിലേക്ക് മടങ്ങി വരും, രാജാവായിട്ട് മടങ്ങി വരും. അതുവരെയും എൻ്റെ അപ്പനെയും അമ്മയെയും കരുതണമെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ് ദാവീദ് രാജാവിനെ ഏൽപ്പിച്ചു. ദൈവത്തിന് സ്തോത്രം. നാം നടക്കേണ്ടത് പ്രിയ കുഞ്ഞുങ്ങളെ നമ്മൾ നടക്കേണ്ടത് വഴി നമ്മൾ അഭ്യസിക്കുമ്പോൾ ദൈവത്തിന് സ്തോത്രം. നാം വൃദ്ധരായിരുന്നാൽ അവർ നമ്മെ നടത്തുവാൻ ദിവസങ്ങൾ സൃഷ്ടിച്ച് വളർത്തുവാനായിട്ട് ദൈവം നമുക്ക് കൃപമാറാകട്ടെ. ശക്തമായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു ദൂത് വാത്സല്യ പകരുന്നവന് ഹൃദയത്തിൽ ദൈവം കൊടുത്തത് വളരെ ബ്രൈറ്റായിട്ട് പറയുവാൻ തക്കവണ്ണമായിട്ട് നമ്മുടെ കുഞ്ഞുങ്ങളൊക്കെ ഇങ്ങനെ അനുഭവത്തിൽ വരുവാൻ തക്കവണ്ണമായിട്ട് നമുക്കത് ശിക്ഷിച്ച് വളർത്താം. ഇനി സമയത്തിന് ദൈവത്തിന് സ്തോത്രം. നമ്മുടെ മിക്കവാറും നമ്മുടെ വീട്ടിൽ വരുന്നു, നമുക്കതൊരു അനുഗ്രഹമാണ്. ഇന്ന് പകരക്കാലം സ്തോത്രം കൊടുത്തിരിക്കുന്ന ആലോചന നമ്മൾ വിവേചിക്കുമ്പോൾ അത് നമുക്ക് അനുഗ്രഹമായി തീരട്ടെ. നമുക്ക് പ്രാർത്ഥനയോടുകൂടി ദൈവത്തിന്
Thank you again for the opportunity that you've given to me. Lance, if you can get the PowerPoint up on the screen. Like I always like to get started with, I always like to say one thing I'm grateful for. And I'm thankful for this place always. Like again, I've said this already, but one thing that's beautiful is, man, the energy. Like during the offering song, like everyone claps. Like, like sometimes in our church, we're like, we're singing now, guys, I want people to clap more, but everyone here claps. And that makes such a difference when everyone worships together. It's a blessing. So off the bat, I'm going to say thank you always because of the energy that I feel here. But more than that, man, I just wanted to say thanks to Josh today. Like, I think that was a really good message. But I think one of the things that made it so good is the preparation behind it. I think a lot of times we're as Pentecostal people, we like to just go up here and just, what do you feel like saying, say, you know what I mean? And sometimes we do that, but it's like the preparation you put into it, the prayer that goes into it, like the thoughtfulness is something that's a blessing to the people. Like what you said, there was some I don't know, just like this thoughtful presence about it, that it was a blessing. So I encourage you, keep reaching. Like you don't need me, you keep reaching, keep doing good stuff. And there's a lot of talented people here. Keep encouraging each other just to do good things, okay? So we're going to get into my thoughts for today. I'm going to start with a small nugget. The first thing I want to say is that time is short, right? Like the second your life started, it's like, have you ever seen one of these things before? It's like a sand thing. And there's a certain amount of sand on the top and it goes down to the bottom, right? And once it gets to the bottom, guess what? It doesn't go back up. And that's kind of how your life is. Like you have a certain amount of time. The sand just keeps going down and down and down. You don't get to go backwards. Do you know what I mean? That thought in itself gets me fired up. I only get